Alright, is this thing on? I think my connection is having a bit of issues. Give me 1 second to make sure we're okay. Yes. Opponent is here, looking good. Alright, cool, no worries. And I think it's about time to play. And that's about all I need to do. Oh, I did want to check if this Lichess streaming situation works. Yes, it does. Fantastic news. That's fun. Okay. Alright, let's put... okay. 1 sec. Streaming on YouTube. And put on our Zen mode and check that everything is mics on. We'll not be right back anymore. Okay, let's have a game. Alright. The moment we've been waiting for is here again. Time to play. C4. Unexpected move. Interesting though, this opponent plays almost exclusively the Rossolimo, so that's kind of what I was expecting. This is very much not a Rossolimo, so now I'm not so sure. But I think we will just keep it slow and tight. It is freezing in Japan. This weekend has been incredibly cold. So keeping the aircon going, trying to buy enough food at the supermarkets so we don't have to go a lot. Definitely has to keep things comfortable. Small confession, I played actually me and my opponent played OTB today before this. I'm not sure what their situation is, but I had a small kind of winter, what would I call it? A winter tournament? Yeah, like a winter rapid tournament here in Kobe. It was quite fun. Nothing too serious, just a good time. Alright. I mean, they've got me straight out of book already. So, what shall we do? Ah, man. Alright, let's not spend too much time on it. Yeah, I'm really unsure. Just gonna go here. Let's look for a somewhat familiar structure. Not going to try to do anything too fancy. Yeah, so as said, my opponent couldn't play earlier today because they had some OTB, I had a little tournament, so I'm not sure if that's better or worse. I tend to get a little bit chest out if I play a lot in a day, so if I play a tournament, for instance, I'm normally not trying to get online for some blitz or something in the evening. But a rapid tournament isn't so serious, right? So I thought that maybe I wouldn't feel so uncomfortable if I don't take the games too seriously. We're just trying to have a good time, and it's not too bad. Okay. I think I've seen, yeah, versions of this in a different way. I mean, I kind of got a take, don't I? It's not much to think about here yet. When people play d4 and you've got c5, you kind of take the pawn normally. But now, do I want to trade knights? I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest. My opponent apparently plays exclusively the Rossolimo against the Sicilian. And I found a very interesting line that I've never played and they've never faced, and I'm not even sure if it's specifically good, but it seemed really fun. So now we gotta adjust. I'm guessing I just want to get a little bit of space here. I mean, there's versions here where I end up just letting them trade queens even. It's not really what I'm looking for though. Take. Yeah, they've got a bit too much pressure on that d4 square already, so it's a little bit tricky to move them from it. I can avoid the knight trade, hit their pawn. I mean, there's e3 and they defend it. I don't really know what this is. So I'm looking if I push up like this to open up, and they take, and I take here, they can take here, they can take, and I mean that's fine. Probably getting the queens off and me losing casting rights isn't the biggest deal, but I'm also kind of hemming in my bishop a little bit, my light square bishop, so maybe I should look for a fianchetto still. What to do? Yeah, and I don't want to walk my queen out and then just get into some trouble, so I either... I mean, I feel like this is a pawn move, almost exclusively. I'm wondering if I should go for a structure where I go for d6 and then g6 fianchetto instead. That seems perfectly reasonable. What to do about that d5 square? If I push and they take, I get an isolated pawn, but I've got a knight sitting in the center of the board. That's not too bad. Push and they take immediately, I can take and defend the pawn. I am on my own so early in this game. Basically trying to figure out where I want to put my pieces, and I'm not sure. Should we just play with a slightly bunched up knight square bishop? And they take... I mean, I can always take this... Oopsie. Hello. I can always take this way. Yosh, what to do? I mean, I've looked at avoiding the trade, but it seems not worth it. Just jumping the knight around for no real reason. There's fancy lines where you go like this and here, and then the queen comes out, but then they do this, I have to fall back, and they're defending it, so that doesn't really look very good. And I don't want to take, because it just invites their queen to come out, so... Okay. I think I'm just gonna fianchetto this dark square bishop. I can take with my b pawn. I mean, in the Rosalima I was not thinking, obviously, the d pawn takes, and there's a lot of fun moves there, but now that this is the situation, that doesn't really work out so well. This is the other move I was looking at, which seemed interesting. Everything takes, but then I might end up with an isolated c pawn, which seems unnecessary. So... Yeah, at least nothing's really hitting me in a way that hurts. I can always block off if they try and come in with their dark square bishop, so should be okay. Here, and they then go back. Okay. Yeah, alright, fair enough. White, I have no idea where you're going with this, but I'm just going to put my king to some safety and we'll see what happens. Quick check if the stream is on. The stream does look like it's on. Fantastic news. And that is as much as we see. For everyone who hasn't seen this before, welcome. We are playing the Lichess 45-45 League. This is a fantastic community. We are currently in our 45th 43rd. It's written in the stream title, and I think on the board somewhere. I think it's the 43rd season. It's really nice. The quality is played good. The community is quite broad, so we've got not just this league, which is a team league, but also there's a single league. There's actually two. There's the Lone Wolf, and then there's series, and they run in different ways, so it's fun because you can kind of get into it in a way that you prefer. We've got blitz battles, and there's book clubs, all kinds of things. I think recently we had a chess in the game channel that started up. I mean, it's very Lichess-esque, right? If people think of something cool they want to do, then you just do it. You just put it together and you just enjoy. Alright, looks like white is also just gonna kind of let me continue. Let's not waste any more time. Oh, okay, sorry, hang on. So the reason I was explaining about this Lichess League and the community is because we tried to play, you know, relatively serious. You're obviously playing for fun. This is still a game after all, but we try to keep things organized, and obviously you don't want people to have unfair advantages. So because we play on Lichess, there's two things that are not very normal for OTB. The first being that I can draw arrows. The second being I can make notes, apparently. If I quit Zen mode, there's technically a notepad there, but anyway, the biggest point is I'm not supposed to look at the chat, because looking at the chat, oh, I see, okay, looking at the chat is kind of unfair, because someone might say, hey, do this move, it's great, or something. Alright, I'm not 100% sure where they're going with that queen. I haven't moved my light square bishop, so one of the reasons, I play d4 with white as well, one of the reasons you put your queen there a lot of the time is because in the d4 openings, if black moves the light square bishop too soon, this pawn is weak, and sometimes you've got a weak pawn on d5 as well. But I haven't moved anything like that. And there's not much here. This is protected, and they can't really hit it in any way that seems meaningful. I wonder if they're going to try and put their other light square bishop here and gun down the diagonal. That's normally not the best move though, because giving up, I mean, that's not even going to work, sorry, but I was thinking if you like give up a 2- for a rook and a pawn, normally the person who gave up the rook and the pawn is better off because they've got more active pieces. You know, like the value of material is very relative to what's happening in the game, and rooks are much better late game when there's more space and open files and they can work together, so early game you don't want to do that. I can hit the queen. I don't know if I would specifically care to do that. This does avoid a queen trade, so if they want to take my knight now, obviously I'm just going to castle. I don't see any big danger. If they want to take now and I take this way, you know, there's no queen here, so I'm comfortable. I wasn't really looking for an early queen trade. Well, I'm unsure what they are doing here. One concern obviously is I have no control really here. They've obviously got great control of this d5 square. So, you know, I don't know. The other thing is against d4 openings also obviously your light square bishop is a bit of a concern a lot of the time, so I should fianchetto it. Then they take, and then, you know, here, then I've got these pawns, but I can probably do something with it, that's okay. I can also take, but then I open up their dark square bishop, which, you know, if you don't want to open up your own dark square bishop, I don't really mind to help you with that. I can do a structure like this, which is kind of like a short-term comfort, but long-term this pawn is going to be a problem, and my dark square bishop is now over here, so it can't defend it from inside. So really I think these are kind of, I don't want to move my queen up because he can just hit it, pointless. We can trade. I don't know why I would want to do that though. I can hit the queen, doesn't make a lot of sense. I can hit this pawn twice, but again I'm not attacking it in any way that's meaningful, so I think we're just going to find something to do with my light square bishop. And I'm feeling like a fianchetto might be nice. This bishop might come out here, but, you know, if I get efficient, fighters. I think they've got this kind of push to get onto the pawn, which is a bit uncomfortable though. But I can always do this. I don't know if that helps me too much. Where to put? Maybe this is kind of what they're going for, making it a bit uncomfortable for me. I'm leaning towards d6 now, just to get some scope here, and I'm seeing a way I could maybe put it on white. Yeah, it's a little bit more timid than I ideally like. This, you know, C English opening is court. Yeah, the other thing this does, which I like, is that it stops that from coming in, and this, all these squares are still protected. I think I'm comfortable. Let's go ahead. If I now decide I still want to fianchetto, then at the very least I've got another pawn defending that c5 square. So if you can see this situation happening and they push, you know, where I can't take because my bishop's hanging, I can take the other way. So that move kind of falls off the wayside. They can take. I don't see this really being too good for them. I've got all these squares kind of covered by something. I'm also noticing that white's kind of focusing a little bit towards the king, the queen side now, right? They've got both their knights on this side. The dark square bishop's not aiming anywhere, the light square bishop's out, but it's not really going anywhere I have to care about too much. So, I was wondering if I should push their queen around a bit. I thought it might be useful. And I liked doing it. Let me just see if I'm falling to any kind of silliness, but I don't think so. I'm giving up that square, which is not ideal. No, I'm happy. So look at this. maybe slightly surprising. I'm not completely developed and I've just put my knight. I think that there's some good chances here. This is the, oopsie, hello. This is my first point. I'm quite excited to kind of push their queen around. I'm not sure what it's doing there. And the other thing that I can obviously see already is that I'm double attacking this knight, which means I could potentially win that pawn in some way. You know, take off one of their bishops from the board as well. I would probably take with the knight first though. I think I'd like to keep my own dark square bishop on the board since I fianchettoed. I don't specifically want to have a lot of dark square weaknesses around my board, around my king. Especially because they might still find some way then to make an attack happen on these diagonals. Alright, they obviously see it. But there was 2 points to this. Kind of wish I had control of this square as well, but I'm not up for playing that move. I still don't like this. This backwards pawn is just going to become a headache. Yeah, so I think I'm actually just going to chase their queen away. Yo, I can chase their queen quite far, to be honest. I mean, points this, and I can chase it again, but I'm not, you know, I'm not really going anywhere useful. And again, I don't have control of that square, which is something I really want to have, so I'm kind of feeling like I might. Obviously, they're going to take with their pawn, right? There's also a move like this. Typically helps. Although